Five things off the wall.
That's us, man. 24/7.
You should expect the unexpected. I mean,
Make it known that this is all about being 100% authentic.
We are live now.
So, with that being said, let's jump right in. Yeah. What's up, beautiful people? This is Drick Willie on for another episode of. Oh, okay, sorry.
Not during Black History Month, we ain't.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Five Things Off the Wall. I am your guy, Drick Willie.
peace, beautiful people. It's your boy Dev. I'm so excited, man.
Right. Derek must be too, because hey y'all, it's your girl Crystal. See Mac.
Yeah. Walter's here.
Walt is here. Walt, give us some more energy. We need
I
more.
am.
That whole, I don't even know, country western type thing. You just the intro kind of, I don't know how I feel about
Well, you
that,
wasn't feeling that?
It kind of sapped the life out of me, homie. I ain't gonna lie, sapped the life out of me a little bit.
Had to make it interesting. We
You
to
did.
all of our listeners and subscribers, we miss you and we love you. We just wanted you to know that. If you have not subscribed to Five Things Off the Wall, know that we are available on all platforms. We're also available on YouTube. So like, subscribe. We'd love to see you. We'd love to interact with you. Let's get into it, y'all.
Yes.
What we talking about this week?
Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
champions.
But it pains me to say that.
Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes.
Who'd y'all have in it?
Neither.
Man, I think it was. I always felt like it was going to be a great game. I honestly thought like Philly was going to be able to pull it out. I thought Pat Mahomes might have been a little bit too hurt. And I wasn't sure if they were going to get enough guys off of the injured list for the game. And Philly was playing phenomenal football. So I was just thinking Philly's going to win it. They might pull it out. I expected it to be 34-28 with Philly winning. But
It's a close prediction.
yeah, that's what I was thinking it was going to be. But I thought it would be Philly and Jalen Hurts holding it up because I just felt like the Jalen Hurts story was going to be too epic. But Pat Mahomes clearly made it clear, like he is the standard. So.
Yeah, I wanted Philly to win. Even though they beat our Niners, but the way they beat the Niners, it was all technicality. So, I wanted to represent and support Javon Hargrave since he is an alumnus of South Carolina State University.
Right.
And actually one of my frat brothers, so he's Beta D. So
Okay.
yeah,
I didn't know he was alpha.
yeah, he's an alpha. He's done some wonderful things on the field and off the field. Little known fact, he actually saved somebody's life in South Carolina. Actually lifted a car off of someone at an accident scene. So he's done some wonderful things.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's definitely dope.
Shout out to the Bulldog.
On
Ted
the
Cruz
Chiefs,
was also
Yeah.
Cruz was also on the
Chiefs.
Chiefs, even though he wasn't on the field, but he's in the executive office.
No, he's in
for
front.
South Carolina State too.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina State producing greatness, y'all.
That's right.
I didn't have a dog in the fight. As you know, I'm also a 49ers fan. So obviously I did not want I did not want the Chiefs to win. I wasn't going for them, that's for sure. But I really don't like Philly fans. So that's really kind of had me at a crossroad because I was like, I don't like the Chiefs, but I don't like these Philly fans, especially after this loss that we took to them. I was like, I don't know, but however it went, but
Philly fans and stuff.
Yeah. Dad, who you had?
I didn't have a dog in the fight. It's
But
cool.
who you thought was going to win, though?
I really didn't know. They was both so good. I couldn't even tell you. But what I will say is that I'm partial to Kansas City with him because Philly was in it, and I'm a Giants fan, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It was a really good game.
it was.
One of the better Super Bowls.
Right.
And Patrick Mahomes needs to be talked and put into the GOAT status already.
Think so?
Already?
Already? They've gone. How many times have they been to the Super Bowl in the past 5 years?
Three.
And they've been in the AFC Championship 5 times since he's been the quarterback.
Skip and Shannon had this argument.
Yeah. I don't like the premature GOAT talk, but I definitely think he has to go down.
Not premature.
I think it's a little premature, man.
That's what I think. That's what's they were. I guess because in Tom Brady's 6 years, he had 3 Super Bowl rings, right? But I guess there's what's being said is that Patrick Mahomes has 2, but he's also been MVP 3 times.
He's been MVP both times that he won, and he's been 3 times in his 5 years, and he's been in the AFC Championship 5 times. He's been the starter.
All right, so let's be clear about this. All right, and I don't want to turn this into the Super Bowl debate, but he wasn't the best quarterback on the field in that game.
Who cares?
I'm just saying. I want to know, but this is what I mean. Like,
definitely taking nothing from Jalen Hurts.
I'm not saying he's not. Pat Mahomes is not a great quarterback. He definitely was, but I think it's a little. If we were talking about he's at the tail end of his career, yes, we got to start talking about GOAT stuff. But
if he was to stop playing right now, would you consider him for the Hall?
For the Hall, would I?
Yeah, right now.
Yes, Hall, yes, but GOAT, no.
No, not GOAT status.
And all right, so who? Real quick before we jump into the next thing, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. I'll just leave it at them 2 right now. If you had to pick a GOAT between them 2, who's the GOAT?
If I had to pick between those 2?
Between those 2,
Emmitt Smith.
Why?
Because Emmitt Smith has rings. Barry Sanders does not.
But based off of your
is it based off his contributions to them winning those rings?
Barry didn't even go to the Super Bowl, let alone the NFC Championship, as far as I know.
Right, because he carried his team by himself his entire career and still was the NFL all-time leading rusher up until Emmitt broke it after he had to play like an extra umpteen years just to get to that point. So I feel like
But did Emmitt contribute to the Super Bowl rings that he won?
On a wonderful team, yes, he did. Those cowgirl teams were pretty miraculous.
You can put whatever you want to put on it. When you want to start talking about anything GOAT status, I don't care what league you in. Everybody's going to ask, what do you have? Patrick Mahomes has 2 rings in 5 years. MVP both times.
Yeah, how many? There's not a lot of quarterbacks that have 2 rings.
Absolutely not.
But is it just because he has 2 rings in 5 years, or is it 2 rings in his first 5?
Nah, it's more than that. His yardage, his completion percentage, all of those things play factors in winning. Offensively, this dude is very talented, right?
I definitely can't take that away, because I was gonna say, doesn't Eli got 2 in 5 years?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's more about.
Wasn't 5?
I think it's more about 2 rings in his first.
So.
Yeah,
I think it's about him being so early, because he's been in there 6 years. He sat out 1, right? And then his next 5 years playing
as a starter, as a starter.
Yeah. And I think it's something to say, because everybody felt like, because he had Cheetah, he had Tyreek Hill, right? They felt like that was one of the main reasons why they won these previous years, and so he did it this year without him.
Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce's always been.
If people want to be,
I feel like they're the next Tom Brady and Gronk.
If people wanted to start talking about Patrick Mahomes and put him in that GOAT discussion,
have legit argument. Like I don't know.
All right.
Listen.
All right. Well, let's talk about another GOAT.
Contrarian that you want to be, but I'm not.
No, because
numbers don't lie, bro. I'm just telling you. Numbers don't lie.
I like Pat Mahomes. I do. I like him.
Before we move on, real quick, was it a good call or a bad call What do you think,
It was
Derek?
the right
The
call.
holding call?
The
It
holding
was-
call. What you think, Derek?
I
It
think it
was
was
the
a
right
good
call.
call.
The right call.
Right call. You, Walt, what you think?
It was a good call by the letter of the rules. I don't know if it's the right call in that time.
Because it was Super Bowl or because it was that part of the Super Bowl?
It's just that part of the game, not just because it's a Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument like, yes, it's the Super Bowl. You don't make that call then. I do feel like that's a game deciding hold. Was it a hold? Yes, but there's a hold on every play in the NFL. Was it even his most egregious hold throughout the entire game? No, it wasn't. There was a third down play where he held Juju, like he spun Juju on that one. That was more of a hold, and they didn't call that.
They missed that one, right? That's
Right,
the
They
one.
so-
missed.
But
A lot of calls were missed
that's
Right,
what
so
I was
what
going
I
to say.
feel
I
like-
think,
so what I feel
the
like
fact
is-
that,
and overturned.
I've seen calls made because somebody on the field has campaigned to get that flag. And
Correct,
Pat
right.
Mahomes
Like
did
Patrick
that.
Mahomes.
He did
Correct.
that.
And I mean, and
Patrick
don't get me
Mahomes
wrong.
was like,
If they were campaigning for that, but if they were campaigning since it happened earlier in the game, and then this is the result of that, I fully get it. I understand it. I'm not like, I don't feel like it ruined the game. I don't know.
but I mean, let's
Bad
play it
boy.
out. Let's say they don't get the call, right? And they go to fourth and whatever it was, right? They kick the field goal anyway and get the 3 points. So are we saying that because Jalen Hurts then can't get a chance to take the ball down the field to determine if he was going to get a field goal and tie it up and go to overtime, or get a touchdown, or get nothing and still lose? Is that what we're saying? This was a game deciding type thing?
He had a chance. It was just a short chance.
I mean, you know what I mean. Like that
Listen,
was a Hail Mary situation.
I called it when I saw 5 minutes and the ball was going to be in the hands of Pat Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. I called it. I said, you know what? I said, it's over. They're going to run down that clock and Philly ain't going to have a chance. That's exactly what happened.
But what I will say is, holding call or not, you got to look at the fact that I think somebody said every offensive possession Kansas City had in the second half, they scored.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that holding call away or not, you got to talk about why the Phillies defense allowed that to happen. Pat Mahomes been playing with a sprained ankle, a high ankle sprain for what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, something like that.
Defense clocked out.
And he ran like a 30-yard sprint down the middle of the field.
Not even juke, just it was crazy. It was like people, it's like they were tired or they couldn't believe he was.
So let's
like
think
he was
about
skating.
Also, do you think that, because of course Kansas City defense had a chance to be on the field almost the whole first half, because the Eagles were on, their offense was on what, 20-something minutes of the first half.
You know
so
what
they were.
You know what I think it was, Crystal? I think Kansas City has been there before. One as an organization
and
many of the players, right? And so I think for Philly, it was new. And what you see from a lot of people who are new to a big moment like that, they are high on adrenaline early, and they just run out of gas. And I think that was the case for Philly's defense.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah.
Makes good sense.
And so speaking of GOATs on the football field in the Super Bowl, let's talk about Rihanna.
Congrats on the baby.
Yeah, congrats.
ASAP is not playing games.
Yeah, he said ASAP. He said let's get these babies in ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP.
I think what was it was evident, I guess, from the onset, like her movement was real deliberate and not as dramatic as we've seen from other performers. And you could tell, like, she seemed tired, and then finding out she was pregnant, it's like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, it was evident early because I'm like, everybody's saying, well, what's going on? She looks a little,
fluffy
in the stomach, right? And so I said, it's obvious that she want people to see that because she could have clearly,
covered it up.
Yeah, covered it up. So she wanted people to see. And then when you go back and you look at the replays of it and the highlights, you see early on she actually rubs her stomach.
Yeah.
So she was at that moment, she was letting them know. But I thought what was interesting is people were saying that her with the red on represented her menstrual cycle or the period, And then,
oh my gosh,
and all the people in the white represented the sperm, and so that was her way of letting people know about the pregnancy.
You know what? People would.
Yeah, people say.
Yeah, people was making jokes about that.
Yeah,
I saw the sperm. I saw the sperm, but I didn't hear the period comment.
That's funny.
But they said she did make reference to a special guest.
Yeah, in our interview with Nick Burrell.
Of course, everybody thought it was going to be like Jay-Z because he was at the game, or Kanye or somebody. And I'm like, no, her special guest was the baby bump.
Was a baby, yeah. But I thought she did a great job. I didn't realize like she had that many hits. I mean, I know she had hits, but when you hear them back to back to back like that, she just
that wasn't even all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was only the ones that was major.
Yeah,
I saw a comment on Facebook. Someone said men should not make comments about women's bodies, or women performing, with body issues and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of interesting to think about. I guess because men don't know what it's like to move while they're pregnant, so it's not so much as saying like, oh my God, look at her stomach, but it was more so like, how y'all gonna say that she didn't do well when you don't know what it's like to do anything pregnant?
Yeah, I've seen that from women and guys in terms of saying that, oh, it wasn't a lot of energy, it was boring. But I'm like, what you expect? I mean,
she was pregnant.
She was clear she was pregnant. Well, I guess it wasn't clear to some people, but
yeah,
I figured it out pretty early.
I think it was that sensitive line. You don't want to assume like, yo, is she pregnant?
Right.
Don't be like, yo, she's about to have a baby. You don't want to say that because it's like, yo, she just didn't lose.
Like, oh, congratulations.
Right. I want to do that.
What? Congratulations on what?
Exactly.
I just had some Chinese food.
Derek, you know what, Derek? I feel like you've done that before.
So there is a couple of things I did want to give Rihanna a shout out for. Well, the whole production itself. First of all, I thought that the floating stages was awesome.
Dope.
Amazing.
I thought that the stage itself was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that. Secondly, the choreography was really good as well. And I want to give a shout out to Paris Goebel, who also goes by Paris. She's the one who choreographed it. She actually is a New Zealander who was responsible for choreographing the entire set, which was amazing to me.
Yeah, it was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but the
coat, yeah.
Oh, she was paying tribute to Andre Talley.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Andre Talley was a editor-in-chief of Vogue.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away. He also went to North Carolina Central.
I would say HBCU grad. Yep.
And they just won the Celebration Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm. MEAC champs. There you go.
Yeah.
So
shout out to the MEAC.
So I thought it was dope that that she was doing that as well. So I enjoyed it.
It's dope.
Yeah. All right. There's really no easy way to transition into this next piece, right?
I mean, there is. I mean, about it. We talk
go
about
for it, buddy.
People are crazy. That's what it is.
Yeah, people who are crazy, and we talk about the level of empowerment that Rihanna represented, right? Yeah. She showed that women can be pregnant and they can do anything. They can command the largest stage in front of an entire male audience. We got to start talking about equity and, how bold women can be at times. And
the double standard that is there.
And how sometimes the expectation is like, he's a dude, he could deal with it, he'll be all right. Dudes do it all the time. Like, why is that okay? We all seen the footage, and if you haven't seen the footage, you should find it, because I feel like this is an educational moment. We all saw Busta Rhymes get groped, sexually assaulted
in an
airport. That's what it was. It was sexual assault.
It was
a sexual assault. He was sexually assaulted in an airport, and he responded by showering that young heathen, trying to cleanse her.
Hey, why she gotta be a heathen, yo?
Cause she's a sexual predator.
Stop it, man.
She said she did not mean to touch his butt. She was just she was excited because he did a good speech at this whatever this was. It was some type of clothing or whatever boutique thing, and she was excited. She's always been a big fan of his, and she was trying to catch up with him and take a picture. And as you can see in the video, obviously he was getting his walk on. He was walking away really fast, and so when I guess the faster he got away from her, she tried to grab him and ended up hitting his butt.
Nah.
Hold on, wait. Do you believe that, Crystal? Because you saw the footage.
I saw the footage. I do believe that.
You saw her smiling after she grabbed him?
I saw her. Yes, I saw her smiling afterwards.
Crystal.
But that still doesn't mean that she meant to grab his. But I think she probably meant to grab. Hold on, she probably meant to grab like the bottom of his jacket, and it took a little cheek.
Why was she?
Because she was trying to stab him to get a picture.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. You serious? Like, are you just like?
No, I'm serious.
Right now.
No, I'm serious. I do believe that that's what she was trying to do.
So
I'm not. Is it okay? I'm not saying it's okay, but I am saying I can see that. I can see that.
The way
the Money Records Mac. I know good and well you did not just sit here and try to defend that.
I need you to sit back and hush it.
Time out. Seriously. Now, Crystal, we've all seen this video.
We did.
She reached out, grabbed his butt, and stepped back and smiled.
Yes.
All right. Yes. I've been in the presence of men who have groped women before. Mm-hmm. I've been in the presence of women who've groped men before. Her body language and her response to what she did is exactly on par for what happened in those moments. I've been around people when I'm trying to catch up, because when I'm trying to catch up, you're not going to get
me to agree with you.
That's cool. I get it. You stay on the side of the woman.
I can see.
But here's what I don't want you to do.
Both sides of it. I can see both sides of it.
I can't. I don't want you to be on the bad side of this story. Think about it like this. When you try to catch up with somebody at your job, right? First off, when you try to catch up with anybody at your job, do you ever reach to try to stop them below their waist?
Right. You don't go that low.
I don't reach for anything at work.
You're trying to catch them.
But not even just work. Let's say outside of work. Have you
anywhere
gone that low?
I would probably do that at homecoming. Like I would probably try to grab the bottom of somebody's shirt or jacket. I would probably do that. And there is a possibility with grabbing for that I would touch their butt or grab their butt.
I would say,
you know the people that don't, but you know the people at homecoming.
You're right.
I would say in my 43 years,
but I'm just saying I could see that happening.
In my 43 years of trying to get somebody's attention,
I've never, man. You can't be serious.
Never
that low.
Never.
That's fine. That's fine. I said I can see that.
The way she pulled back was one of those.
Yeah,
I got him.
I got him.
Yeah.
But y'all listen. We all know the perception and reality. So you can't. That's your perception, and that's fine.
That's the reality.
That's not the reality.
It is.
He said she stood back like, yeah, I got him. You don't know that's what she was saying or what she was thinking.
All right. So let me ask you this.
That's the perception.
That's an assumption. Here's a question, Crystal. Do you think? All right, so even when you're trying to grab somebody's shirt, right? When you're trying to grab, let's say you're trying to grab the bottom of somebody's shirt, the bottom of somebody's jacket at homecoming, right? I'll give you the benefit of that, right? You try to do that. How do you, let me ask you a question, because they're walking away. How do you manage to make them feel so uncomfortable as if to say, she grabbed my butt? Because I mean, I can grab a coat and it's going to be mostly a closed fist.
Well, I can't respond to that without sounding like a double standard.
It's too late. You already do.
So what? No. What I'm saying is, I feel like Busta Rhymes was being dramatic, but hey, so that's why I said this. That's not because I know that if it was a woman, there is no room for being dramatic, right? It happened.
It was a woman,
right? So that's why. So that's why I said
Busta
that.
Rhymes.
But I do feel. I mean, no, I'm not saying that what she did was right. I'm not saying that, and because obviously she grabbed his butt, and that was obviously wrong. But I do think that Busta Rhymes could have been being dramatic too.
Yeah, I think it was a.
But wait, hold on, Crystal. So if it was a male who was trying to grab a woman's coat.
I just said that, Devin.
But no, but I guess I can't wrap my mind around what would you.
What if that was a guy?
What would have been left dramatic? No, hold on. What would have been less dramatic? Like, what would you have seen him do? Like, oh, don't do that. Like, I don't understand because had the tables.
I think him reacting the way he did is what made it obviously the more made it much bigger, right? Because if he had to turn around and be like, oh, boo, whatever, right? It wouldn't be all this. No, I said no. If he had to turn around and be like, oh, whatever, and hugs her or whatever, it wouldn't be all this, right?
No, absolutely.
I think
it still would have been.
No,
I think it still would have been.
No, so it wouldn't. So if he had to turn around and said and hugged her and took a picture, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, right?
We would have.
No, we would not. Y'all would not be talking about this girl grabbing her butt if he hadn't thrown the drink.
All right, so let's hold on, Dev. Here's why we would have still been talking about it, because I can confidently say out of all three of us, I don't know that any of us enjoy having our butt grabbed.
Did I not say that when we talked about it earlier?
Hold on, no, I'm talking about as a man. Like, it's just
that's what I said in our chat when we talked about it earlier. I said I don't think that any guy wants to be touched on their butt, especially right. So most guys don't want to be touched on their butt. So I said that.
No, but here's what I'm saying, and this is why we still would have been talking about it. If she grabs his butt, he turns around and hugs her. We're still talking about the fact that a woman grabbed this man's butt, knowing that
would not have. Come on, man. Be honest, Walt.
I'm telling
you. If he had turned around and my wife drink and took a picture with her instead, we would not be having this conversation about her touching
my wife
butt.
was not. Listen, if my wife was not asleep right now, I would call her down here to testify to how much that annoys me to know. And there's nothing fun
I agree. I believe that.
Having your butt grabbed as a
I'll say this.
Nothing that any of you are saying I disagree with. Nothing.
Well, I'll say this. I think it was a natural reaction of disgust, because at that moment he wasn't expecting for that to happen.
I don't disagree with that either.
And then to her case, to the point you were making on her reasoning for doing what she did, why I don't agree with it, because if you were trying to catch up with somebody, why would you stop and pull back? If I'm trying to catch up with you, I'm going to continue walking with you. So even if it was me accidentally hitting you on the butt, I wouldn't withdraw. I would keep walking towards you.
I think the stop was because she thought he was going to stop and there was going to be some type of interaction. That's why I think she stopped.
Crystal, I can't.
Yeah. No. Wait, Crystal, hold on. I think you're right. I think she knew he was going to stop. There was going to be a reaction because she did something that would cause him to stop and make him react.
Exactly. But I don't think that she thought that it was going to be that severe.
She didn't. Yeah, she probably didn't think he was going, throw water on her.
So let me ask you this, because I get what you're saying, and let's just say that, maybe she didn't intentionally try to touch his butt. All right, cool. But I'm kind of back at the reaction. I'm still a little interested to know, what would you expected him to do? Like, what if he would have yelled at her and not threw anything on her? Would that still been over the top? Would that have been too dramatic?
No.
What if he calls her out a name?
No, hold on.
I would assume that especially if it hit him that way, I would assume that he probably would do something. But I didn't think it was going to be like, take my whole drink and throw it on her.
But that's excessive. But if the dude was to do that and the woman just fly off and slap dude in the face, that's not excessive.
That's why I already said, Devin, that it's going to sound like a double standard. That's what I started. That was my transactional statement to what I said.
But it's not that it sounds like it, Spider. It is a double standard. It
is, but the world is double standard, so that doesn't feel bad at all.
Then we going. All right,
I don't feel bad about that at all, because the world is double standards.
Okay, all right, we good then. Then that we don't even need to go any further.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we gonna
talk about justice for Busta Rhymes?
Shut it up.
My man was assaulted. He was sexually assaulted. That young lady.
Oh my God. Okay, moving along.
It was though. That is, if a dude was to do that, that would be sexual
dramatic.
assault.
Speaking of being dramatic.
Okay. Whatever you say. Spider.
You got me too.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I know, guys. I know that most guys don't like to be touched on the butt. So I would expect maybe some reaction, but because I'm not walking around touching nobody's butt for sure. But I can't say that I have never done it by mistake.
Right. A mistake is one thing, but see, I guess you're apologetic when you do something on accident. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. Like that is your immediate response. If I'm walking and I accidentally grab, or even if I'm just walking and my hand accidentally just brushes against somebody, not even their private, personal space. Just if I touch you, I'm so sorry. I didn't touch you. That's just me. But whatever. I think the one thing that we need to really be clear about is I don't know that there is a response to that anybody could say is too dramatic.
So here's my thing. Okay, so let's say
hold on, Crystal. What if that was triggering for him?
But hold on. Let's say he presses charges, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he does that, right? And if he does, I wouldn't be mad about that, right? Because that's his personal space. He felt the way he felt, right? But it's the same thing as if a guy did that and turned around and said, "I didn't mean to touch her boob. I was reaching for something across her and I touched her boob." She felt some kind of way about it and was like, "Hell nah." And so now I'm pressing charges. It would be the same way. And guess what? The guy is going to think, and anybody else that may have been there or around or whatever could also be like, "That was okay, girl. You doing a bit much. She was really reaching for the stapler, and your titties were right there. It just made a mistake and brushed."
Yeah, but I don't think that's not the case with this though.
That's what. No, it's what she's saying versus what people saw, right?
Locker room talk. That's what we're gonna call it.
Just like
I feel like
we're gonna talk it. We're gonna chalk it up to boys in the locker room.
Listen, I feel like
it's the same thing. If she released a statement saying, "This is what I was expecting. This is what I was intending to do, and this is what actually happened. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it." Same thing that Tom said. Tom said, "I didn't mean to scrape Cindy in her boobs. I was trying to get the stapler and the daggone tape dispenser, but her boobs were right there, and so I slid." And so everybody else was there like, "Nah, man, you look like you've been talking about her titties, or you've been wanting to scrape across the titty."
Locker room talk.
Look at whatever happens to that woman.
Hey man, you've been talking about
what happens to her.
Y'all are so ridiculous. Okay.
Why are we ridiculous?
You're not, Devin. Let's move on. Let's go on.
It would be great.
I
feel like another woman's voice in this conversation would be good because I'm interested to see whether or not her perspective would be the same as Crystal, or would it align with us?
Listen, I've seen on social media women who are in the same boat as Crystal.
Oh, they do. They were.
Yeah, saying that it was a little bit much dramatic and all of that. And
I did not read that. I promise to y'all, I did not read that. That was my own.
No. I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying there's other women who feel like you, who feel like that. Like he responded too dramatically.
I think it's the double standard in society. I think they feel like men are macho, and we should welcome that, right?
No, nobody said that. No one said. There should be a reaction.
No,
like when Devin said, "What if he had to just cuss her out or whatever?" I didn't say there should have been a reaction.
Here's the reality. Here's the reality of it. The reality of it is that the double standard that took place is from the male's POV, right?
Yes.
And the thing is that we are more up in arms about it because it happened, and we're all saying, had it been the other way around, things would have went left. But women been dealing with double standards forever when it comes to how their sexuality is, when it comes to dating and all of that. And when they come to us, we hit them with it's a double standard. Sorry, you got to deal with it. So now this is basically the other way around. Women are saying it's a double standard. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Just men.
I feel like I feel like when you're dealing with, and this is way far left, right? But when you're dealing with somebody who says, I was sexually harassed by this guy, or I was raped, or whatever, the woman has to do, to me, I've seen where they have to do a lot to get people to believe, just like Meg Thee Stallion, we just talked with her getting shot. She had to do a lot to prove that she's telling the truth.
I don't know about that.
Why?
I don't know about that, Crystal.
I just think that.
Yeah, I gotta hold on. And
stop. So you mean to tell me, as soon as somebody saying I was sexually harassed, as soon as a female says I was sexually harassed by somebody, especially somebody like, let's say it was somebody like Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
Right?
What about
God rest his soul. Nobody is going to be quick. No one's going to be quick to believe.
Why we gotta say Chadwick? Why we gotta do the dead man?
No, hold on.
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay. No, Crystal, wait. Now, Crystal, wait. I think you're adding a special caveat in here. Like, so for instance, let's talk about and we can use the Deshaun Watson case as an example. When the accusations first came out against Deshaun Watson, everybody struggled to believe it. One, because of who the player was, not just because he was a player, but because of who he was. Clean cut, never had no problems. He was the NFL golden child. No problems. But then once everything starts getting uncovered, it's like now everybody's like, yo, this dude is a serial creep, right?
Correct. But initially, but my point was initially.
But wait, listen. But that's what I'm saying. When you add the caveat of who the person is on there, that's not a universal situation, because I just read an article where there were two Ohio State football players who were just cleared of, I think it was rape or something. Like, they were accused of rape. They were cleared of rape. These kids would have been in the NFL.
Oh, you mean like Brian Banks?
Brian Banks. But you see what I'm saying? But the word of that female, the word of those accusers was taken, because it depends on who it is. It literally depends on who it is. People didn't question. Do you think it depends
on who it is, or do you think it depends on the race?
No, it depends on who it is. Part of it. Yeah, I mean, that of course that's a part of it, but I'm sticking with the Deshaun Watson situation. We struggled to believe Deshaun Watson was doing that because he was a golden child. He was a choir boy by all standards. If this came out about Russell Wilson, we would struggle to believe that Russell Wilson was doing this, right? Because after we just talked about how, great he is, the Sierra, this, that, and the third, and she just got away from, that creep dude Future, or the opposite end of the spectrum dude Future. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then we find out Russell Wilson is just a creep too. Come on, we would struggle to believe it. But if that same story came out, let's say about Travis Kelce, people wouldn't struggle to believe it, because the first thing they wouldn't. You would, just because you got a thing for him. But most people wouldn't struggle to believe it, because they know for Deebo Samuels. I have a thing because they know about his checkered past coming out of college. He even admitted to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it came out about Kelce, when it came out about Aaron Hernandez, did nobody question whether or not he did it? Nobody questioned it. People started looking at him funny.
So Aaron Hernandez was he was accused of the murder. Okay, the murder. Yeah. Okay. From
New England. So I think he
played for the Gators. Yeah.
Right. I think it just depends on who it is versus not just the race. I mean, I definitely think the race will play a part. Yeah, or origin. Like, if you're just a random football player with no status, no stature, no persona that we should believe you for. If you're black, you're going to be guilty. If you're white, they might give you a little bit of pass. I think that's when race will come into play. But when we talk about guys at that standard, Meg's issue was, I don't know that people questioned just whether or not Meg was shot. I think it was people questioning whether or not Tory Lanez actually shot her.
That's what it was.
Because of the inconsistencies in her story. That's where the issue was. Now, she was a victim.
So who did they think shot her?
That was the problem.
Well, we didn't know, because everybody said, everybody was drunk. She was saying that he did it. Other people, her homegirl wasn't coming out saying that he did it.
Actually, didn't her homegirl say at one point?
But she said Tory Lanez shot her. That was that's the fact of the matter.
And he said that he didn't. So you got two people.
Okay, so
you got two people where alcohol was. So we didn't. So some people believed her. Some people believed him. In this case, because it was so many inconsistencies and alcohol involved in the situation.
But even
Nobody-
her own story,
nobody
her own
knew who to
story
believe.
changed. But her own story changed a little bit, Crystal.
Her own story changed because she said that she didn't mess with him, and then she said she did mess with him.
Right, but so that's what I'm saying. So
But that doesn't determine whether she got shot or not by this guy.
Nobody questioned whether she got shot. It was like, this is what I'm saying.
I said by this guy.
Yeah, it does. If you lying about once you start lying about your relationship with somebody, yeah,
it diminishes her credibility.
Yes, I get that, but also it's because she didn't want people to know that she was out there freaking off.
Look, guys, none of that matters because that man in jail. Let's move on.
And he going back to Canada, or if he ain't already there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, Crystal. Like the person who it is depends on whether or not the woman is immediately believed. More times than not, the woman is always believed. Always.
No, they're not. Well, are you kidding me?
Crystal.
Well, I will say it depends on the woman. I will say that. I will say if it's a white woman, then probably she's going to be believed off the rip.
Off gate. Don't matter what she did.
Listen, I don't even feel comfortable touching this because I don't think race has a depending on the setting. I don't think
well,
right, depending on the setting.
Well, wait. I think you got to look at historical context now, Dev, when you think about this, right? I mean, think about Emmett Till, right?
Emmett Till.
Right.
Think about, you know what I'm
Brian
saying? And I think for a long, I mean, you've seen, many instances where,
okay, keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say where, a black person was accused of doing something to a white woman, and I think didn't the whole Wall Street, the Black Wall Street, all that happened at the same circumstances.
I don't think that was because of a woman said something. That was just race. Period.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything in sight that like.
Derek, I was getting what I was trying to say was that, women are saying that they're sexually harassed. You do have a contingent that are going to not necessarily believe it when they say
correct. I mean, I can get that. I agree with that.
I don't think that has anything. What I'm saying in that regard doesn't have anything to do with race. Like what say that she's, been sexually harassed amongst other white men, and there is still going to be people that be like, I don't know, and I don't think that's right. So, I'm just really leery about that.
Right, and I will say this: what you don't see is you don't hear men typically saying that they've been sexually harassed, right? So I think in this case, when it comes down, you look at the population, or it's mainly women that are saying that, and so I think in some cases people don't want to rush to judgment. You know what I mean? And but yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, right? That's a whole nother guy. All right, so.
I need women. I told y'all I needed women back up today. I should have.
That's what I was saying. I said it would be good to have some backup.
Peace, beautiful people. It's your boy Dad. Listen, man. Follow, like, subscribe. 5 Things Off the Wall. We are available on YouTube and IG. 5 Things Off the Wall. 5TOTW. Peace.